Cool cats, cool dudes, and Crescencio Somerville's chiropractor.
Chiropractor, oh, nice guy.
I'm sure he's a lovely guy. How are you, Ben?
Oh, lady, I'm well, mate. I'm well.
So I'm going to do it. We'll be zigzagging today. Welcome to We All Love Leeds, the show where we discuss our love of Leeds and our hatred of most other teams. Anyway. So again, Ben's fantastic. I'm doing okay. Wasn't as great, but then the result yesterday was fantastic. So, well, could have been worse. And yeah, let's get on with it. Let's go straight to the chat. And oh my God, we've got a queue of lads.
Evening, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Jimmy, how are you, young man? All fruit salad. Oh, the kit. We won in the away kit. Weird kit. Reminds me of John Lukic's goalie tops. It's a very 94 goalie top. Because that are the multicolours, if I remember.
Yeah, I remember that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Thistle Hotel.
Yeah, exactly right. Well remembered. Evening to John Garside. Welcome, thank you for joining us. Anders, our favourite Leeds fan from Sweden. And I believe Ben is on chat duties, as usual. And BX Gunner is also here. And lots of, I like how people are nice to each other here. It's very cool. Yeah, exactly right. If it's not 94, it's 95. But you know what I mean, mid-90s. And yeah, but long short of it is, knew exactly what you meant, Jimmy. What is going on, you handsome bastards? That could mean only one man is in the chat. Director John, welcome. How are you doing, John? How's everyone doing? Anyway, so let's get on with the show. Which is
Are you a bit slow?
Could be worse. There are worse things than double pressing the button. You know what? I already forgot what it said. Now, are there any questions? Bearing in mind, I've already explained about my £2,000 coat. It's a big coat, isn't it? Put a family of 4 in there. Just saying.
Why?
That was last Sunday.
Why?
Didn't have time to. Yeah.
Is it just look at me?
I'm sure it is. So, let's get on quick with a quick Sunday roast. I've got live footage of Arteta's press conference at Villa Park yesterday. Not happy man. And just saying. It's not my opinion, all right? It's not my opinion. See, the internet collectively. Speaking of Aston Villa, just quickly, that's it. You people have stood in our way long enough. We're mounting a title challenge. I don't think any of us expected them to say that. And then Villa to the rest of the top 4. Currently, anyway. But I know what Ben's thinking. I can get in his mind sometimes. There is an alternate universe where they should not be in the Premier League.
Yeah, they're not a Premier League team. They never will be until they go down and come back up legitimately.
100%.
That result yesterday should have been 3 points to Sheffield United.
It's true.
Every point they accumulate should go to Sheffield United.
Yeah. Well, it's still Sheffield United, so just say half the points should go to Sheffield United.
Let's give them a chance. They'll still go down.
Villa tried to do a Leicester. But Leicester didn't survive based on a goal that went in.
I can't stick Villa, but it's funny to the top 6 elite that they've got an imposter among them. But we all know it ain't gonna last.
No, of course it's not. But it's the way it's the at what point do they actually become uncomfortable and start trying to shift with the rules again? Because when Leicester got in there, then they all started going, let's make sure we get a bigger share of the TV revenue, though. And Leicester don't, because they've not historically been one of us. Anyway, but shady. But speaking of shady, Liverpool's Christmas lights Just got my Christmas lights out. They remind me so much of Liverpool fans because hardly any of the fuckers work, and the ones that do aren't very bright.
Well, that's the retard with his flag upside, his scarf upside down there in the middle. There's always one, isn't there? Jurgen is a red.
Yeah. I think
Jurgen's
there's two of
shit.
them with a flag upside down.
Jurgen is a moaning German wanker. Whereas we've got a happy German.
We have. Although, to be fair to him, we don't lose very often with him,
No.
so it might change next year. we might see the nasty side of Big Dan. But anyway, let's cross that bridge when we come to it. But live footage of Andre Ayew being sent off yesterday. Decision, what Liverpool want. It's probably what... not Andre Ayew, apologies, rude me. Jordan Ayew. Although when I did hear he was sent off, big grin appeared across my face because if ever there was a footballer who had resting bitch face, it is Jordan Ayew. I've never met the man, but let's be fair.
Never met the man.
I've never met the man. You know, he might be the nicest man on earth.
I don't particularly feel that you want to meet the man.
Oh no! I'd rather actually just sit here for the hour listing things I'd rather do than meet Jordan Ayew. I'm not going to do that. Don't worry. But I'd rather do that than actually meet him. But anyway, Pep once said Jamie Carragher didn't win the Premier League once. To which Jamie Carragher said, "I think I'd have probably won one if Liverpool were owned by a nation state and pushed the rule so far that the Premier League charged us 115 times." Them two arguing is like, or Man City, Liverpool arguing is like two kids at school you don't like having a fight and you just sit and watch it. Always good. So live footage of Pep begging his owners for another 500 million to spend. I don't know. In the movies now, I don't remember this version of The Shining, but it definitely happened. So it's a good movie. I deserve both cards. What a surprise. Just a slight pivot to the wrestling. Do you know Brock Lesnar's daughter broke her shot put record at school? Yeah. Brock Lesnar has a daughter. And
but then someone... she's a shot putter.
No, exactly. And
that's not put it this way. Fuck off.
Put it this way, to be fair to her, there will never ever be need for a paternity test. He is definitely the father.
Of what? Can we zoom in on that? Or will that take too long? Because that is a big bird.
I can zoom in on that.
Does she have a Saturday job on Sesame Street?
Bear with me 1 second, please, and I will definitely zoom in on that.
This is classed as one of Stan's for the one of Tony's for the next show.
It's absolutely fine. Let's have a look. So where am I going? We can zoom in. That's clearly a family of three.
You know she'd take into the prom whoever she wants.
Yeah, 100% true. I mean, I want to say who would want to say no. I mean, everyone, I imagine, but who would actually say no? But yeah. So yeah.
Do you think she works on the farm?
100% works on the farm. I could be wrong. I think that was with his child before he met Sable. I believe. I could be wrong. So that's a daughter. A few more years, she'll be getting. Wow. Okay. So anyway, the whole point of that originally was y'all posted. Yeah. She got a congratulations post, but then someone said you're posting nothing when his son broke the Premier League goal scoring record last season, though. Because I don't care that Alfinger Haaland is Leeds. He is clearly Brock Lesnar's child. Clear as day. Anyway, wouldn't know whether to fight her or fuck her. You'd probably need to fight her to get to stop her from fucking you. Anyway, sorry. It was tasteless.
It took 49ers 2 minutes 10 seconds to get a touchdown. Go 49ers.
Go 49ers, yeah. Only got one for Spurs this week because I thought I'd give them a break. They've got enough problems. Just poor round. Although they had a good afternoon at the expense of this team. You know, the Titanic was newly built the last.
I also told you Sheffield United would win 1-0.
You did.
I got the other 6 wrong, but, you know, 2's good.
No, cling on to the ones you do get. Apparently, the Titanic was freshly built the last time Newcastle won the title. That's all I'm going to say.
They actually won the title.
Apparently,
learn something every day.
I bet she takes just to an Olympic. She'd rip it off, mate. Rip it off. Anyway, but I do have the Manchester United Bournemouth match in Simpsons form. Poor lads.
As much as I hate Bournemouth, that win did satisfy me because they won in style at their ground, and it was just you've got to when it comes to a situation where there's 2 teams you don't like, you've got to pick the one you like least. And the history with the Scum is just too deep for that not to be satisfying.
It was massively satisfying, but it was one of those where
Banky got subbed. So
to me, it was one of those where you just sit there and whoever loses, someone's going to be upset. So you just enjoy it. So that was it. You've heard of Elf on a Shelf. So can anyone guess what this is? For context, that is, I believe his name's Jeremy Hunt. Just someone's going to get it. Old Trafford's falling down. Ten Hag is a fucking clown. Give the Glazers 10 more years. Leeds United on the beers. I see.
That's a Leeds song.
That is a Leeds song. Good old Jimmy. Does anyone know what the Christmas rhyme this is?
Hunt on a cunt.
Bingo. And Gary Lineker questioning, has anyone ever won Manager of the Month and lost their job in the same weekend? Wow. But I did notice a pattern emerging with Manchester United. It might be a bit small. But I noticed there's a pattern with the dressing room being lost. Maybe it's not the manager's fault.
They just know how to get rid of a manager, don't they? Throw the toys out the pram. Stop playing. Simple.
Exactly. They get their new contracts and the manager gets shifted and then the new guy comes in and then soon they get rid of him too. Anyway, and last one, just a representation of what Man United thought of their fans this weekend. That was actually at the start of the BBC News, lunchtime news or something like that. And as soon as it came on, she was sat there like, poor woman. Scum and Shell Scum have more sacks than Santa. And when Ferguson left, that left the power to go to the inmates. It's true. And there's a lot of inmates there. So, onto the small matter of Blackburn versus Leeds. Let's have a look at the Leeds lineup this week. By standard fare by now, isn't it?
Matteo Joseph. What's the difference? It was good to see him get on.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice run around for him. I'll be interested if that actually leads to anything, because obviously Bamford is the only reason he's on that bench is because Bamford is ill. He has the flu or whatever.
Did he see himself in the mirror for the first time?
Poor boy. I wonder if he'll come back bald. You just shave it off. For anyone who wondered, this was the Blackburn team. Excuse me. Again, as we say this every week, but we've been away from the Championship for so long that most of these names are new to me. What's a Smodix, for example? But it's not just the shit ass stadium that leaks. 4 Mile Werecut instead of 8 Mile Bamford. Blackburn could have sold 3 sides of the stadium to Leeds and got a rare full house. What the hell happened to Nonto? He's gone from hero to zero. Well, that was the thing. If you basically say you're not getting on the bus at Birmingham, the guy that then does get on that bus will eventually keep you out of the team. And Dan James is keeping him out of the team.
Rightly so.
More on why in a minute.
It's not just on the fact that Nonto's a cock. He's in it.
Exactly. Exactly right. Obviously, line up the same way we do every week. So the only real thing that gets different is how does the other team line up, and that's what they did. And did it work? Let's find out. Did it work? I'll let you decide. Did it work? Anyway. The match was played at Ewood Park. For anyone who wondered why it's called Ewood Park, there you go.
There's a wood.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's the scene of the crime for us.
That's not a park though. There's no swings.
Well, the way they swung from the Premier League title to bloody League One was impressive. Anyway, so also quality on the bench, players fighting for places. Nonto was unlucky, great save by the keeper. I hate players that have the quality and talent to take your team to the next level, but are just wasteful. And Eastwood Park originally, unaware of that. Thank you, Jimmy. And basically, the game, nothing really happens in the first half, apart from usual Leeds dominating possession, territory.
We didn't dominate net possession first half. We was about 0.8% less.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they did a lot of nothing with it.
Well, that'd be it then. Because it felt like, but it felt like if a team was going to score, it was going to be us.
It felt Sunday League, didn't it? We did enough to win the first half. We weren't really troubled. We put our chance away. So we went in at half-time smiling, didn't we? So, not a lot of great football. Dan James was the outstanding performance for me in the first half anyway.
We had Rutter collect the ball and he makes his way just inside the Blackburn half. Then he beats the man again through some trickery.
It made me laugh because at this point, but just before this point, where he had a little entanglement with the guy lying on the floor, having sex with the grass.
Yep.
The Blackburn fans sort of laughed and jeered because they thought he'd lost the ball. But, oh no, he didn't lose the ball. And we can carry on.
He certainly did not lose the ball because then he was able to thread that pass through to Daniel James, who then just basically took a touch and then buried it in that corner. Goal. Daniel, it was a cracking finish. Blackburn Rovers Twitter, goal for Leeds. James opened the scoring. John, presumably a Blackburn fan, said awful defending by Hill. That and S. Wharton isn't good enough for the Championship. And a sentence I never thought I'd ever live to see someone type. Can't be giving Daniel James that amount of room and space. Bless him.
I spent the game listening. I watched it on iFollow for Blackburn. like to listen to Kevin Gallagher moaning about fucking referee decision. Oh, they were the most hard done to team yesterday. Should have had 2 penalties. They were shit. There were never penalties. So fuck off, Kevin Gallagher.
And I love seeing Reuter's happy face. I like
He was happy
how
when he came out of the tunnel, wasn't he? He was the only one, yeah.
He loves playing. He loves.
He makes me happy.
He does. But what I find funny about football fans is when he first joined us for 6 months, he was rutter. He was definitely a rutter, and now that we've seen him properly and that he's a good footballer, he is now officially he's Reuter. We'll call you how it's pronounced.
Like bucket bouquet.
Exactly. I'd swap Nonto for Roden and Spence in January. Yeah, if you could swap them both players. Both players. I wouldn't swap for one player though. I'd be wanting cash because we know the potential that Nonto has. You're not really showing it, but we could call that, John. That's in commentary. Don't worry, I've got something for that, lads. Maybe I'm getting old, but Reuter reminds me of a giddy Great Dane. Yep, that's exactly right. He looks like someone that is happy to be playing football for Leeds United. Partly because we all never turned on him. It was more it was like, why are you buying him when we're in a relegation battle? Which is not an unfair take to have.
It was never
if
his
you're not going to play. Yeah.
Whereas
but no one was actually.
It was Weston McKennie's fault because he was just blatantly shit and not trying.
Yeah.
Whereas this guy, all he needed was a chance. No one gave him that chance, so his confidence was shot.
Exactly, and that's what Allardyce said. Allardyce said he couldn't really play him because his demeanour was that of someone that had been bought and then basically placed in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, exactly right. But that weren't his fault. Like, you can't call a player a flop when he's played like 7 minutes of football or something like that, and he's 7 minutes into like a 4 or 5 year contract or whatever he's got. But anyway, yeah, he ain't daft enough. That's true. Only playing 3 years, fits straight into the team after transfers. Rafinha was so good that even Bielsa had to be like, yeah, I can't do my usual thing of getting this player up to fitness. Even like Raf at like 80% running ability is going to be the best player in the team. Just had to. Rest have taken months, even 2. Yeah, exactly. Rafinha, about 4 weeks, I think it was. Anyway, we go in at the break, 1-0 up. Not really much happens in that second half, to be fair.
First 20 minutes was fucking awful.
Yeah, it was basically the 20 minutes coming out of half time. I don't want to use the phrase all Blackburn, but it was basically mainly Blackburn going forwards and not really taking advantage of the what would you call it? Lack of concentration, let's say. But anyway, then we break out. Archie Gray manages to go from our own half to deep into their half, gives the ball to Reuter. Reuter gives the ball back to him. Then Gray takes the 1-2, threads in Somerville, chips the goalie, game over. And that was it. Done.
Pretty much. That's this week's brought to you with no poo emojis.
I'll tell you something that made me laugh, though, was that because I was listening to the game on radio with my dad, and basically I went to get something to eat, and I went to my mum, oh, we're 2-0 up now, and the first words out of her mouth was, who scored? Was it Somerville? There was no way to know it, apart from just something, oh, Somerville gets most of your goals now. But just amused me anyway. And yeah. You can poke your tongue out like that when you're quite sensitive of Somerville at the moment. Do Barca still owe us for Raf? To my knowledge, I believe that's paid in full now.
No, I don't think so. I know they owed money a bit not long ago. They owed a quite a substantial amount. But I think it's structured over 5 seasons. So
Well, you
whether they
most are
late on
paid.
payments or not, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I know they still owe money on the deal.
Well, most of it gets if it's like Chelsea started doing, where like you pay it over the contract. But I don't know. Well,
What
when
was
I
the
say
final
I heard
fee?
it was paid,
What was the final fee?
only about 50 million.
54 was it? Something 53. Yeah.
Yeah, something along those lines. The impression I got though is that basically there was nothing untoward, like what they're supposed to pay us, they have,
Yeah.
and things like that. That's more what I mean by like they're up to date. Like they're not actually trying to have us over a barrel over this. But anyway, is it right? But he's already done that, or on another channel. Not sure. I get the feeling though that if they had tried to pull a fast one on us, the San Francisco 49ers are going to go for Barcelona. But I had thought on Bruder James Somerville too. It certainly did. It certainly did. But it's not an unreasonable pick, to be fair.
He was nearly
What do you make of the goal, Ben?
The goal, both good in the
Second
wrong.
goal.
Good finish by James and nice football for the second one. Nice 1-2. Took their midfield clean out and then bang.
Amazing. So, Blackburn's second tweet about the goal was goal for Leeds. Somerville then won their fans. Sorry?
Blaming it on injuries. Fuck off.
Yeah. Was always going to happen. Not to mention the huge amount of injuries we have. We're a good team that play good football, but they have Premier League quality when it matters. They make the most of key moments. We need too many bites at it. Simple as that. I don't know why I did that like they're East Londoners, because they're not. I'm sure it's a Northerner. Anyway, and then Kyle Smith says, we just don't do anything, do we? Can't compete against teams with this much money, however. Another season of mid-table mediocrity. And that's why we need to get out of this league. Because if you don't get out, you become this.
Yeah, well, we did. We became this. So we've had our turn at that back then.
Yeah.
Then you came down with money and parachute payments and failed. So fuck off. Deal with it.
It's true. Assist.
I'm in no mood for other teams' whinges. Can you tell?
Are you in the mood
football.
for?
It happens to everyone. Deal with it.
You're in the mood for Medley's save in the 81st minute.
Great save.
I was good.
It sort of made up for the stupid punch when he had 6 hours to catch the ball. Why does he not catch the fucking ball? Can he not
don't like catching the ball? Doesn't like it at all.
What happened to catching the ball?
What I find weird about it is I don't think he's good enough at punching the ball, generally speaking, for the amount that he tries to do it.
It's not hard to punch a ball, is it? It's punch the
really
ball.
Not.
Don't punch half the ball. Punch the fucking ball. Keep your eye on it.
When you say you take him, though, like, who would he dislodge from our team, John?
I wouldn't.
Not saying you're wrong. I'm just more interested in what you would do with him.
I think he's reached his level.
Mellier needs some punching lessons from Josh Warrington. Not.
It's a case of
suggesting.
If you want to go up, John, right? You don't want to be signing too many players that are just championship level to get you out of the league, because then you're stuck with them under contract like we was last time we came up. You want a few loanees in January so they can do the job, and if that's their level, they can move back on. You don't want to be stuck with too much championship dross that you have to play or you have to pay money and you're just taking up space. Luckily, we've got a few players that are good enough to keep, but then we've got a few that are.
So you'd play him as a 10, put Reuter on the left. So where are you putting Somerville? Or who are you dropping? Rather. Yeah. Like, at best, he's going to be on our bench. But my actual question would be, the common sense would dictate that we loan a left back in January, right? Now, I'm not going to ask you who exactly, because that's not a fair question, because I don't know either. But can anyone think of any left backs that would
Tierney
do a
from
job for
Arsenal,
us?
he's not playing, is he? Has he gone?
Which one, sorry?
Did Tierney leave Arsenal?
I think he's already out on loan at, I think they loaned him to Spain.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah. It would have been a good choice, but there'll be some left backs about. Not off the top of my head, but there will. There'll be some good enough.
Yeah.
But again,
I mean, it's not my job to do the scouting for Leeds, but I'm sure they'll have someone earmarked. Because as much as we love Junior Firpo, and on this show we do love Junior Firpo, I'm not willing to actually bet our Premier League status next season on Junior Firpo being fit.
Firpo.
Sorry, sir?
If only there was a junior Firpo.
It'd be amazing. It'd be amazing. If only we could get senior Firpo in the fold.
I think he should get his boots from retirement. Senior Firpo's got to be a baller.
Yeah, 100%. Someone had to teach Junior.
That's it.
Charlie Taylor could be an option. Anyway, so full time.
I don't want Charlie Taylor, right? Because in a nutshell, right, it's all Conor McGilligan wants his mate to sign back for Leeds United. And fuck off, Charlie Taylor, you shit. Don't like him. He refused to play. Fuck off. So, there. It's my thoughts. If you want him to sign, that's your opinion. It's up to you, but I don't want him back.
I just want what's best for Leeds United, and I don't know if that is what's best for Leeds United. Seriously though, why haven't we got Nigel Martin in as a goalkeeping coach? Is Nigel Martin actually a goalkeeping coach? A lot of us don't know what he's been doing. Please do. So obviously I had this at full time of Daniel Farker. I think that's with Rodon, I believe. Looking happy, relieved. Whatever you want to slice it. Get Dorigo off commentary back in. That's not the worst idea either. He's qualified last I heard he was at Bradford. So Nigel Martin still lives in Yorkshire?
Most of them do when they retire at Leeds.
No, that's why I said it, because I was thinking like David O'Leary still lives in Leeds apparently. Because ain't there that story where David O'Leary nearly accidentally ran over a Bielsa?
He is a coach. He coached at Bradford City. He started his role in 2007 under David Weatherall. But I don't think he's employed.
But it's a shame because he is, to me, he's the best goalkeeper we've had at the club. Like, obviously, I can't speak to like 1970s Leeds and people that would have seen that era. But for me personally, Nigel Martin is the best goalkeeper I've seen at Leeds. And the only reason he was not England's number one is because David Seaman was also playing at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Who we gave away for peanuts.
Yeah. And so we ended up winning. And it doesn't surprise me they're able to get a photo of an excited Jorginho Rutter. Although we didn't get his customary come on at the end of the game recorded.
What the?
No, you know when they no, he did that. I mean, you know when they're coming in through the tunnel,
and
they always film him at the camera, and he turns and goes, "Come on!" Didn't catch him this time. They got, I think it was Jed Spence. They got doing something similar, but not the same. Not the same. It's not our Georgie. For me, mine is by far the best English keeper I've ever seen. Lee Sharp still lives in Leeds.
He went out with my cousin.
Lee Sharp.
Yeah. And he came to our house and he was playing for us at the time. And I asked him, "Do you play for love of football or money?" And he said, "Money." And I just said, "Wanker," and walked off. That was my encounter with Lee Sharp. Always was a scum bastard. And then he rocked up on Love Island, and I just thought, how desperate.
I was about to say, of course he loves the money. He went on Love Island. But he could. Shame they couldn't keep him there. So
When
he
a party
wasn't
boy
in.
gets old, and it's sad, innit? It really is.
It certainly is. But you did mention about Blackburn's commentary. So the Totally Leeds Twitter account, it's a good Twitter account. There's good stuff on there. Blackburn's commentary was something else. Some personal highlights implying a referee conspiracy after the penalty shot. I mean, it's not a penalty. I mean, the one where Stroik's got his arms behind his back and he's trying to not touch the ball with his arm.
And his arm was in a natural position to hold his body weight with his back to the ball. Yeah, penalty. Exactly. Dickhead, shut up.
Yep.
They
got angry because Joe Rodon takes the goal kicks. They got angry at Melier for making the save. And they claim Leeds have taken the foot off the gas since the international break.
Oh, yeah. Unbeaten.
Won every game. I'm sure it's every game. But foot's off gas.
No, but if foot's off gas and we're winning, then I'll take that. If we're beating Blackburn at 60%, says a lot for your team, doesn't it?
I'd be questioning the Blackburn players more than Leeds' foot off the gas. But
if we took the foot off the gas, then you put it in reverse. Off you go.
So obviously sponsored by Director John. What did we make of that? And yeah, this was the. So you're right in that Blackburn did shade the possession, but again, points ain't dished out by who has the ball the most. It's what you do with the ball. Pretty funny how many Leeds fans are posting vids from in the Blackburn ends. I've seen Blackburn fans on Twitter getting very upset. Like, how can you let Leeds fans in our end? It's dangerous.
It's dangerous. It's because you've got a shit ticketing system and plenty of empty seats to sit in. If you filled your own seats, there'd be no tickets for Leeds fans, would there?
I did hear of the brawl in there. 20k crowd. There must be 500 at least in their stands. It's funny in football how like the Championship sets up its cameras and stuff. Because, like, to use a wrestling analogy, if you don't sell out your arena in wrestling, you do not put everyone behind the camera. You do the opposite. You give them tickets to then move around to the other side. So then when you film it, you can actually see the audience. It's just common sense. Because the worst thing on your advertisement for yourself is that you give the impression that nobody's there. Whereas in football, they're like, nope. We're going to put the camera pointing out from the main stand, and we're only going to sell tickets in the main stand. So
Did
then
you
what
see
you
when
then
the
get...
camera spotted on their fans? They were all hooded up, freezing, just like...
It's ridiculous, Ben. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, why would you have to... And what annoys me more is how Sky and the Championship, the EFL, are all too happy to let this happen. Why do you film it in such a way to actually show more of how empty it is and how many people are not there? Like, showing the away end was fantastic because it was just a wall of Leeds shirts. But if I was Blackburn, I'd be furious. I'd be like, why are you making it look like we can't draw an audience?
They did. They muted us. At the beginning of the game, you could hear us singing, and then the atmosphere just seemed so drab. And I just feel that they did a Sky TV when we sing Sky TV's shit, and they just muted us because they were embarrassed.
I think it's got to the stage where Sky have stopped muting it though when we do that, because I hear it quite a lot on Sky.
Yeah, but it does get muted. You'll hear it for about 30 seconds or so.
Oh, maybe.
And then
Okay,
it just
enough.
all of a sudden it vanishes. But
Yeah,
yeah, the Leeds fans went very quiet, but then watching the crowd videos since, we seem to be pretty deafening. And I get that it's going to be louder being filmed from in that end, but it seemed relentless, you know.
Yeah, when obviously, as I said, I was listening to it on TalkSport Radio, and you would have thought it was Ellen Road, but a subdued Ellen Road, as in like it was very much like a Leeds home game, if they're like a Carabao Cup Leeds home game. Obviously, it wasn't the sound of 40,000. It was the sound of 7,000 Leeds fans, to put it bluntly. But it just
very Friday night Sky TV atmosphere to it. Just shit.
Yeah, exactly right. That's fair. So in the go around the championship, and basically, unfortunately for us, the teams around us got the points as well. Well, apart from Southampton.
Yeah, I'm liking that the chasing pack is slipping up. Just gives us that bit of ground, a bit of breathing space, doesn't it? For
that West Brom got Sunderland
the next 3
goal.
weeks where Ipswich crumble.
Yeah. I was disappointed to discover that like Middlesbrough hadn't had a shot on target until like the 70-odd minute.
They were very tame yesterday.
Yeah,
but I think they were. I think we tired them out.
Yeah, that could well be the case, but it annoys me because it's like, why aren't you coming out against Ipswich like you did at Ellen Road? Like you come at us in the first minute, like you should, like because I don't believe in teams letting us win, but it feels like that teams have no such qualms against Ipswich. Anyway, Brown alert. So. Not much else got like Leicester destroyed Plymouth because they scored about 3 goals in 5 minutes or something silly like that. Sunderland's second goal against West Brom should have the West Brom coach fired, and I know it's Corberan, but I was just upset that it happened. Just from a pure footballing stance of like your defending was really bad there. But anyway, what else? Oh, yeah, so thanks to Watford for scoring. Could do with, if we look at the fixtures for the midweek games, could do with Watford doing us another favour.
And Coventry continuing their victory over Rooney.
Yeah.
Doing Rooney doing us a favour, but that ain't going to happen, is it?
Nah.
I don't want to be too greedy. I will make a deal with Shrek. But if he beats Leicester, he will never be abused on this show for the rest of this season in any way, shape, or form.
When are they playing Leicester?
I'm sure they're playing them this next 3 games.
Okay, fair enough.
I think.
I thought they must.
Let me have a look for you now. I'll just tell you. Get off American football. Get on to football.
While you're doing that, I'm going to read Jimmy's comment of bet Rooney gets sacked before we play Birmingham. I can't wait to play Birmingham at Ellen Road because we really need to put slacking on them, like because they took advantage of a situation that we ourselves didn't think we'd find ourselves in. With the strikes,
the game after.
Cool.
When we play Coventry.
Yeah. So
they play
Saturday.
It's the 8 o'clock kickoff, so it will be the 18th, whatever that is.
I will lose my shit if Birmingham win at Ellen Road.
Monday night game.
Oh, okay. Interesting. But obviously we've got a hard game at Sunderland on Tuesday. Because again, they're not going to sit back. They're not going to let us walk all over them. We've got to just walk all over them. But I'd quite like Watford to punish Ipswich for me a bit. Excuse me. So I think we should look at the table. Obviously, the teams that are still adrift. I can't really read too much into this.
Sheffield Wednesday climbed up the bottom.
Yeah, they've done well, and Rotherham are now on the bottom, so serves them right for daring to take a point against Leeds. Good to see that Rotherham went back to their usual performances after they put in their performance of the decade against us. Disappointing. And obviously the gap is still 7, but considering they all won, it was important that we kept it at 7. But we've managed to pull a point away from Southampton, 2 points away from Southampton, and we are now 9 in front of West Brom. Because they looked like they were creeping right up our arse last week against Leicester until they ballsed it up. But anyway. I read an article on The Athletic that basically said the top 4 teams are projected for like the highest points in like centuries. Centuries, not true. But, a long time where they're going to be Leicester are projected to get like the record points total. We're likely to get 92 and still finish 3rd.
Yeah, but that's considering that everybody wins. That's it. You can project all you want. That's not how it goes, is it?
No.
There's a lot of football to be played,
No, of course there is. Like, I'm pretty sure those projections
this little period
in Blackburn.
This little period makes and breaks teams.
Yeah. I hope it breaks one particular
where you need
team.
a squad,
Yeah.
And I just don't feel Ipswich have got a squad.
It's going to be Sunderland's biggest crowd of the season. It'll be the EFL's biggest crowd of the season, yeah. Sunderland, liquid brown alert. Wow, okay. So,
odds on Jack Clark scoring. He scores. We got 15 million for him. Good business.
At the time, it was the right decision to make.
It wasn't the right decision for him, though. It was his daddy going, big bucks. My mum works with his mum. And yeah, his daddy's seen big bucks at Tottenham. He should have just sat your apprenticeship out and done it properly.
My thing with it was, for us, it was getting 12 million or whatever it was for a player that had to come off during the game because he had a heart issue or whatever it was. Obviously, we didn't wish him ill or anything, but it was like, but then if you can then still get, because you don't know if that's going to recur and things like this, or if his form's going to drop off, and his form did drop off following that, clearly. So, of course,
I wish him well, And
yeah, of course.
Scoring for Sunderland, fair play, but just not against us. But if he does, he does. We just outscore him.
Hello, Russ. How are you? And so on to the next game, but I think we will have time to do question of the week. Oh, I can't do it. My voice. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Question of the week.
Thank you. Very kind. Oh my God, my throat died in that moment. Oh. Bandi would be thrilled though, because because I can't. Anyway. But don't worry, I'll do it twice next week just to keep the averages up. Eh? Anyway, out of 103 matches played between Leeds United and Blackburn, how many have Leeds United won?
I had a better question than this, but you beat me to it. But
Well, we can do that after.
no, I can save it for next week. But
No
it just tied in because the Wharton brothers were playing.
Wharton brothers.
Yeah, well, it was. Well, no, I'm not going to spoil it. We'll use it next week.
Okay.
We'll use it next week.
Okay. No problem.
This was just a last minute lazy one, wasn't it? Oh, I ain't got a question. Shit, yeah.
In comes Pat Tate, and for disclosure, Pat Tate is actually Mr. Greenwood.
Well, Pat Tate's 28th anniversary of his murder was last week. So.
Oh, very good. You know Pat Tate then.
Oh, yeah. Well, who done? He was a cock steroid taking drug dealer that got his comeuppance. That's who Pat Tate was.
Yeah.
And
obviously
like
played by
anything,
Craig Fairbrass.
we glorify in the media these people who were just scum, basically.
And but yeah, on the road trip yesterday, Pat changed his name, but apparently he can only change it twice every 14 days. So he stuck with it for a bit. He's very good at it, though. He's very good at it. But yeah, as Pat says, Leeds have won as many as I decide they've won. Amazing. Oh yeah, thank you, Jimmy. And his guess was 66. I've already forgot. Your turn to buy the pizzas, Pat. Does anyone know the answer?
I won't tell Pat Tate to buy the pizzas because his notorious story from Pat Tate beating up a pizza delivery guy because he wouldn't do an half and half pizza for him. That was the night before he got murdered.
Oh, bloody hell.
So yeah, nice guy. The only travesty there was with the story is the two guys that got jailed for murdering him were the wrong guys.
Well, okay.
But it's a long story that we won't get into. What's Crime Scene to Courtroom? Yeah, a free advert for Crime Scene to Courtroom. It's got the full history of it all on there.
I can't believe just how I have to sit here and go, Pat Tate says.
You
Pat
could be
Tate
very
says,
right there, Jimmy. Leah Bett's dad was a copper, and his daughter died of one of the ecstasy pills that they bought off their firm. So it could be very, very right. I heard SAS were involved, and it was this, that, and the other, but I'm a long way from that, and it's 28 years ago. So,
well,
this hasn't turned into the Essex Boys show anyway. Change your name to Greenwood at the earliest opportunity, will you?
Only boot prims from Adidas Magnum tactical boots, such as was worn by Essex Metropolitan Constabulary.
Anyway,
Ben knows me more than me. We were getting comments yesterday on the road trip from Pat Tate's Ghost. You should have changed it to Pat Tate's Ghost. Especially with Bremner's Ghost as well.
Pat Tate ain't sat nowhere Billy Bremner's sat. I'm telling you, they're very, very, very miles apart.
Yeah, big disparity in their locations.
Yeah.
Also 7-8 grand. Oh, you all know far too much about this stuff compared to myself. So I don't forget, Russ, if you're still there, do you have a question about who have played for England or whatever it is you like to question us on? But anyway, so I'm guessing no one actually knows the answer. The answer is Leeds have won 48 times out of 103 matches.
Not bad.
And obviously for 23 draws, 32 to Blackburn, we own Ewood. They should put our badge over it.
But we basically did yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got more fans. We've got your points.
That brings us into another section, doesn't it? In hindsight, I should have chose Kevin Gallagher for the next section. But
that's quite right. You're quite right. Yeah, in hindsight, that should have been the case. But so it's time for Mr. Ben's Wanker of the Week. Oh, I can do it now. Anyway. See, I'll do the effort for your segment, Ben.
There you go, mate. Professional as always. So this week's Wanker of the Week is... This is Barry. I think he's called Barry. Didn't actually have a candidate until I thought Kevin Gallagher, bastard. But anyway, Barry lives with his mum. He's 43-year-old. He lives in his bedroom with his mum. And on average, he has had 9 wanks a day this week. So making him ultimately the wanker of the week, allegedly. Because if Barry or whoever he's really called is watching this, please don't sue me.
Barry's the Wanker of the Week.
So that's the Wanker of the Week.
Poor Barry. Poor Barry.
I'll come back with a better one next week, guys. Something more professional. 49
Pat Tate says, Bremner knows his stuff. I might just be impressed, but nothing impressed me. And then, last 5 Blackburn players to play for England.
Okay, Chris Sutton.
David Dunn.
Chris Sutton, Alan Shearer, Tim Flowers, Graham Lasso.
It's going to be most of them, I would have thought. Did Junior Hoylett play? He didn't play. He's Canadian. Forget that.
Did Andy Cole play for him while he was playing for England?
He obviously would have played for them a lot sooner, but I don't think he played for England while he played for Blackburn.
Tim Flowers. David Batty, yeah.
Bad apples, Pat. That's what really gets the plot's attention.
Well, Graham Lasso, he smashed on pitch.
In Moscow, yeah. I just chin Patrick Swayze, says Pat Tate.
Pat Tate's ghost.
Is David Dunn one of the answers? Got in my head there, be him. I was going to say Damien Duff. He's not even English. I'm guessing it is Shearer and Kodo.
Wilcox.
Oh, Jason Wilcox.
That was so cool, right? I went on when I was a kid, I went on a Bobby Charlton soccer weekend. And Jason Wilcox turned up and I got his autograph. And I wasn't right impressed. And then that summer he signed for Leeds. And it was like, yes.
It was like, I've always liked that guy.
He wasn't a bad player, even at Blackburn, but you're not interested in other players for other teams' autographs, are you? When you're a kid, it's like,
yeah,
no.
Very good. Wilcox is correct, which does then
so that takes us to that era. Then Graham Lasso, Shearer, Chris Sutton.
Chris Sutton never played for England.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who else? We do have on wings. Gallagher, he was Irish, wasn't he? Tim Flowers, yeah. Who was in back?
So he obviously had
Edinburgh at right back, at left back. So no.
Sutton, Jess. Wilcox signed for Leeds in like 99, I think, wasn't it? So it's obviously between 98,
95 and 98, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So who would you have? Graham Lasso played for Chelsea at one point. He might have signed for Chelsea. That might be why.
No, he signed from Chelsea to Blackburn.
I'm sure it was the other way around.
Was it? Let's have a look.
Because he won the title at Blackburn.
So he started at Chelsea, 89 to 93, then went to Blackburn until 97, then
And
went
back
back
to
to
Chelsea.
Chelsea, and then to Southampton.
That makes sense.
And then in 2012, he went to Wembley, played no games for them.
Oh, that's when they like signed Roberto Carlos and all them. Thought they were going to go through the FA Cup, but didn't.
Shearer, no. Sutton, yes. Okay, so we're going. Who did they have in midfield? Batty and.
They did have Batty.
We're going David Batty then.
They had Batty. Batty was 95, I think he.
But then he went to Newcastle, didn't he? So. Where he told their fans that he'll play for them, but he's hard to lead.
I'm thinking he played for Arsenal. David Bentley.
David Bentley.
I'm also thinking. Did Warnock, who played for Leeds and Blackburn, play for England? Yeah.
Who played his defence in that title winning side? Colin Hendry did. He was Scottish. Bentley, yes. Got him. So what's that? 3 or 4?
We didn't have David Dunn confirmed or not. But I still think it's David Dunn. Because he was really good for about a year. And then he went to Birmingham.
Yeah, so we're 1 off.
So Wilcox, Sutton, Dunn, Bentley, Warnock.
Yeah, that's it. Done. Your questions are too easy.
They're so easy. We only takes us 10 minutes to get them. No, great stuff. Appreciate it, Russ. Thank you. And I think Bentley realised he just enjoyed being more of a club promoter, wasn't it?
Oh, I'm the next David Beckham. No, you're not.
And then he realised he liked the life of owning a bar in Marbella or whatever it was more than he liked being a footballer. But it's easy to decide that when you're already on 50 grand a week or whatever it was. But anyway. So, genuine thank you for that for Russ. Thank you for Pat Tate for deciding to make
Thanks for joining us, Pat. Can you say hello to Craig Wolf for me? And Mr. Tucker, Tony Tucker.
Join us next week where we see which other crime lord Sam Greenwood decides to turn up as. And we will discuss that crime. No, but seriously, next week we will be back. And we will be back because we will be going over, depending on how this actually turns out, Sunderland versus Leeds and Leeds versus Coventry. So don't forget to
Last
join us
match
for
was
that.
87 or something, isn't it? It's like,
It feels like we ain't played them for a long time. Anyway,
Debo Samuel.
yeah, Craig and Tony says hello. Cheers, all have a good
Thanks for
one.
joining us, everyone.
Yeah, in all seriousness, John Garside, Bremner's Ghost, Russ Morgan, Pat Tate, obviously, the one and only. Thank you for joining
John
us.
Anders.
Oh, of course. We'd never forget the great director John or Anders. And yeah, as always, we love director John. What a man. So have a great week. Good luck to Leeds on both nights. And as he said, pats off to Shag Kim Tate. Yeah. Up on that Emmerdale farm. Anyway. So I was gonna say anything you want to say, but you already said goodnight and that, didn't you?
I think you've heard enough from me, guys.
No problem. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Take care.
Peace out.